Hello everyone, welcome once again. And in this chapter of Plotly, that is chapter 2, we will learn how to create basic line and scatter plots that you can see here. All these examples, we will import some data sets and then we will create line charts, multiple line charts, use a dark template, then create scatter plots without trend line, scatter plots with trend line, with these tooltips where equation of line is shown, accuracy score is shown. So everything that you are seeing here, you will learn with examples and explanation. So let's get started with chapter 2. Hello everyone, welcome once again to this Python Plotly tutorial series. This is part 2 of this series, and in this part 2 we will cover Plotly line plot and scatter plot. So in part 1 we studied we got some introduction to Plotly. Now let's get started with part 2. Here in first part we studied how to import Plotly, how to create basic charts, but here we are going to use these two modules. So first we will import plotly.express as px and import plotly.graphObjects as go. Objective is in this chapter we will learn how to create these plot, and these are the foundation of data visualization. These are ideal for tracking trends, identifying correlations, and analyzing performance over time. Before we begin, we will use Plotly Express. So make sure you have installed Plotly as we discussed in previous part, and we will import the Plotly Express library which we will use here. Now what is a line plot? Line plots are basically used for tracking trends over time. A line plot connects data point with a continuous line, and it's perfect for visualizing trends such as sales growth, website traffic, ad impressions over time, etc. So here is our data. First we will load data. After importing the libraries, we will import some data. This data can come from some file also, can come from some API, or maybe your SQL database. So it can come from anywhere. I will show you one more example after this. So once you have this data, now you will simply use or create a figure object. In your figure object, you will write figure equal to, and then the module that we have imported, Plotly Express as px. So we will write px.line. This is the method, and here first argument will be data, second will be x. In x you have to provide a parameter value like month. Y is another parameter where you have to write what is the name of your second uh, field or second key. So this data is a dictionary. In this dictionary we have month and website visitors, and in title we will write whatever title we want on this chart. We'll make sure markers equal to true. This will show those data points over our graph, and then we will finally write figure.show. So command is px.line, then first argument data, second you have to provide what is your x and y value and your markers. So once you will do that, you will be able to see a line chart, a simple line chart with these markers, and you can see it is joining these different points. So and it is showing us monthly website traffic trend. So this is how you can create it. Let's say you want to do it on some live data set. Now here you can see another example. So in this example also you can see a line chart. So how have we created this? So on our GitHub, that is github.com/slidescope, we have sample superstore data uploaded. This data comes from Tableau, so you can download it from Tableau also. Now, once we are here, we can right click and copy link address. So we will get this particular link URL where this Excel file is. In this Excel file, we have order ID, order date, and we have information of sales. So you can see some sales or profit here. So we have order ID, order date, and sales. Now let's say we want to see order date wise sales value. So then we can use this. So once you have to read an Excel file, so in Python we use pandas library. So we will write import pandas as pd, then pd dot read underscore excel. This particular method will read data from this Excel file, its first sheet or default sheet, and once we will provide this URL here, this will be saved in df. If we will write df.head, it will give us first 5 rows of the data. So here are the first 5 rows of this data. Our main columns here are order date and sales, or order date and profit. There is another column. So as we did earlier, what I have done is I have written df dot sort values in order date. So in a data frame, there is a method called sort values. So we will sort these values from earlier order date to last order date, from January 2014 to January 2018. Otherwise, this line chart will look weird. I will show you that as well. So if you will not sort values of order date in such cases, so your data will look like this. It will look like a mess. So we don't want this. So that's why what we have done here is we have done this. Now in this order date, obviously you, if you want, you can see profit as well. So you can create another chart where on y-axis you can write profit, and here you can write profit trend or profit by order date. Here we are using order date as our main value. Now in case of profit, you can see we have some negative values also. That means on some particular dates we have loss as well. So this is something that you can do using a line chart in Plotly. DF is our data frame, like we have studied this a lot in pandas also. In DF we don't have any column that shows us month. In Excel we have formula. We can extract month from our order date. So here also if we write df dot, first of all if you write df dot info, you will be able to see what is the date time of order date, or what is the data type. If data type is date time, it is already given. So we will select df, then we will select order date, and then from this order date we can fetch month. So you can write dot dt dot month underscore name. This method will fetch month. So we have close to 10,000 orders. For these 10,000 orders, now we have month name in the same order, like with the same index. Now this is month. So we can create a new column. We can say in df, we want to add another column called month, and its values will be fetched from this series that we just created. Now once you will do that, you will have another column in your data frame, that is month. So now you can see we have month. Now we can df dot group by. So in group by, you can take a column and group by. So let's say we have done month, then we have selected profit, and we have used sum function. So this will give us this kind of output where now it is showing monthly profit sum. If you want, you can also select df by dot group by month sales, and you can select mean, what is average sales for different months. So this way you can write different methods, sum, mean, standard deviation, etc., that we have covered in previous chapters also. So here we have group df dot group by month, and as I said, if you are starting Plotly, you have you must have some basic understanding of Python pandas also. Otherwise, these things are very easy to understand. Now, once we have this type of output, in this type of output, month name is index, and the value that we are looking at is sales. So this is value. So what we have to do is, let's say we have to create a line chart here. So we will copy this code, and in this code here, first it wants data. What is data? And then it wants x and y. So if you will write dot reset index, so what it will do is it will change it back to a data frame. Earlier it was a series. So this is important. So you will reset index and it will change it back to a data frame, and now this will become our data. So this entire thing will become our data. Obviously its ordering is like April, August, like this. So for ordering you can consider different cases, like if you want to start from January, then you have to give custom order. Here X will be month, will be month, and Y will be profit, and we can say profit by month, and you can see how it is showing profit. So obviously you can set it from January to July and so on, so which we will now see. So when we are creating a simple line plot, on x-axis we put some value which is related to time or some continuous value. On y-axis also we put some numerical value that we are counting. Marker is equal to add circle markers to each data point. Now suppose we want to compare multiple lines. For example, here also we want to compare multiple lines, not here, like we want to compare sales and profit or something like that. So in that case, what you will do, so let's create a simple data frame first from here. So now here we are creating a data frame with a dictionary where we are writing month, so January, February, March, April, May, June, and we are multiplying it by 2, so that we have 2 such months. Then we have visitors and we have source. So source is Google Ads and Meta Ads. So we are using six values of them. We have total 6 months. So this way our data frame will be created. So before we proceed further, we will see the data first, how the data appears. So this will give you total 12 values. So January, February, June. So it will start from January, go up to June, and then repeat. That's what this 2 means. Then we have these values which are in sequence. Then source for first 6 will be Google Ads, and next will be Meta Ads. So now we have data like that, and we also have the same kind of data for our superstore orders that you just saw. Now in this data set you will use data as your value. Then on x-axis you will write month, even though months are getting repeated. On y-axis we will write visitors, which is the numerical value. Then for color we will use source, like in Seaborn. For colors we write HUE, hue. Here we are writing so color as the argument. So as a keyword argument. So which is the parameter value. And as a title, you will write anything that defines your value and markers is equal to true. Once you will do that, now you will be able to do traffic comparison. What if we want to do same thing? Here you can see month and other values are given like this. If we just add it here and instead of data we select DF, in X we write month, on Y we write sales, and in color we will write category. So in the data we have product category like this. We have product primary category like whether it's furniture, office supply, technology, etc. So and title will be sales by category, sales by order date, category wise, or you can write a better title here. So here you will, once you will create the chart, you will get something like this, because in our case, as you see, months are getting repeated multiple times. But if we use the similar kind of approach we did earlier, like sort values order date, then on x-axis we put order date, and on y-axis we put sales, and on color we put category, then you will be able to see values like this. This is sales by order date. And here you can see for office supplies, furniture. So if you want to see only one, you can get rid of other two. So this particular thing will become this legend. You can interact with this legend to see only those values. So this is how this is useful, and you can compare data. Obviously, we will show more and more better examples, but this is one example that will give you an idea how line charts are working. You can quickly identify which campaign is performing better month by month, and this type of report which you see here is perfect for marketing report and dashboard presentation. Then suppose you have to customize your line chart. So Plotly allows customization of titles, axes, labels, hover data, and themes easily. For that, we will write figure.update layout. So here we have created the figure, but in figure, let's say we have to update the layout. So whatever is your title, for example, our title is sales by order date category wise. So we are writing this. X-axis title is order date, y-axis title is sales, and we are using a template called Plotly Dark. So I will give a list of all the template names that we can use, but here we are using Plotly Dark. So now a dark graph will be created like this. So this will give us sales by order date category wise, and this is how it will be created. And you can download these as PNG. So this gives you a chart or modern dark theme, which is perfect for dashboard presentation. Now let's come to scatter plot, that is used for visualizing relationships. A scatter plot displays data point on two axes, x and y, which is great for identifying relationships or correlation between variables, such as advertising spend versus conversion, study hours versus test score, product price versus sales volume, these kind of things. So I will show you another example, but let's see a very basic example first. So first we have a very simple data here, where we have some ad spend and conversion. So if ad spend was 1000, conversion was 20, or conversions were 20, and for 6000 they were 130. So now we have data, As we have created figure and used px dot line, here you will write px dot scatter, then you will write data, then same you will write x and y. So these are all x y kind of plots. Then you will write your title, your size. Here we are using size, so first we will show without size and then we will see size. So once you do that, you will see all these scatter points, they are of same size. Okay, these are of same size and a color palette is already there. So in color we have written add spend, so it is already giving low values a dark purple color and high values a dark yellow color, we can say, or bright yellow color. If we write size, so in size of these dots or size of these scatter points will also depend upon conversion value. More conversion value will have a bigger scatter point. Here you can see. So you can see size is also increasing from 1000 to 6000 mark. So here it is, this is how you can see the data. Here let's say we have 3000 here and 5000 here. We are just changing position. Then also there will be no problem. It will just show like this, that when it was 3000, ad spend was also ad spend was 3000 and conversion was 110. With Plotly we get this kind of advantage, that once you are seeing the data, so once you hover over your chart, you will be able to see this kind of tool tips. So this is very important and we can take screenshots of them as well. Now as I said, I will show you some other examples also. So there is a library in Python that is used for plotting and learning plotting, that is Seaborn. And in Seaborn library there is a data set called tips dataset. So we will load dataset tips as sns.load dataset tips. Once you will do that, you will get this dataset. This dataset is an old dataset that is used by freshers, like people who are learning data visualization or data analysis or machine learning. Here it is written tips.head, that is giving 5 rows of the data. So if total bill in a restaurant was this much tip was given to the waiter by person who was female. They were not smoker. Their day was Sunday on which they were eating and time was dinner. The number of people eating were 2. So here in this data also you can see we have two numerical values and we will try to see relation between them. We will try to relate how total bill calculates tip. If total bill increases, will tip also increase or decrease or have no effect? So here we will write px.scatter. Instead of data, we will write tips. In x-axis, we put the independent value. Independent value in our case is tip. Then we have total bill here, which will be on y-axis. And we will simply write total bill versus tip value. And in size, you can write tip amount or total bill, whatever you want to write. And in color, we can write total bill. If you will not give this, then you will not see this kind of legend over here. So that's optional. And once you will write that, you will be able to see this plot, total bill versus tip value. So for example, for this case, tip is 7.5 when total bill was 39. This gives us an indication that when tip is increasing or total bill is increasing, then there is some positive correlation on tip value, which we can see using df dot, or in this case tips dot corr method. So corr can show errors. So you only have to select numerical values. So here in the tips data frame, we have selected total bill comma tip. In total bill comma tip, we have selected corr, which shows that tip versus total bill has 0.67% positive correlation. That means chances of increasing tip will be more when total bill will increase, and this is the correlation factor. Then if we create another line, so next chapter is scatter plot with a trend line. So here is the trend line. So if we want to put this trend line, which is used for linear regression, so you can add an additional parameter here called trend line is equal to OLS, ordinary least square regression. So in linear regression, we create this line of best fit between our scatter points. You can see these scatter points are not in perfectly linear trend. So this line is kind of representing that trend, that represent the relationship between ad spend and conversions in a linear way. Similarly, in our total bill versus tip example, I have written this parameter as well. And here now you are seeing this line. This particular line here that you are seeing is OLS trend line, and here is its equation. Tip equal to 0.1050 multiplied by total bill plus 0.920 with an R square of 0.445, which represents accuracy. This R square represents accuracy. You must have studied one line equation, y is equal to mx plus b, where y is output, m is slope of this line, b is the intercept. Where is this line going to meet the y-axis? In our case, which is tip. Y is output, which is tip. X is total bill, which is input. M is slope, and plus B is intercept. This is this line showing. So if we want to calculate tip amount, then we just have to put total bill value. So if we put total bill value of 10, so then you can easily calculate what will be the tip amount. So this is how machine learning or linear regression works. With linear regression, you can create a scatter point. You can try to create the line of best fit. Then with the help of equation of that line, you can try to predict the output. But in this case, there are many other factors also affecting this decision of tip. That is whether they were eating on Sunday, Friday, whether the tip was being given by female, male, whether the person was smoker or not. So this is what that's why it's not as easy. But if you just want to consider total bill and tip, then this is how it will work. So this is the use, or this is the basic use of uh, you know plotly line chart and plotly scatter plot. We also have, we can also add more interactivity. If we are creating a scatter plot, then on hover we can show different values, and then hovering shows detailed values, which is great for presentation ready dashboards. in case of in case if we add trend line, you can see how much detail is there. We have accuracy score, we have the equation of line. So we will keep learning more and more examples like this. So keep following our Plotly series. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.